ever take that for granted. It is a lovely day here in Nigeria where we're reaching you from. This is Power Solutions brought to you in partnership with Energy Investment Company, All On. And every Monday at this time, that's what you listen to. Today we have yet another beautiful guest joining us on the show. But first, let me introduce to you my co-host for this week's episode. I'm expecting, of course, I can see Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo on the other side, Communications Officer of All On, joining me as a co-host virtually, from the other side. So, hi, Wisdom. How are you doing today?
Hi, Collins. Good morning. I'm good. I'm fine. My first time virtually with you. I mean, amazing. I hope we'll do this with.
That's right. That's right. And it's a hardcore. I'm going to say it's a hardware. Let me use hardware. It's a hardware episode today as we have three men gathering in this panel to have a conversation. Our guest is also a male joining us. And I'll let Wisdom do the honors by introducing our guest. I know that is the CEO of OGV Limited, and we'll find out all of these. But before Wisdom gets to introduce our guest, our focus today on the show is themed or tagged or called processing of agricultural products using renewable energy. I repeat, processing of agricultural products using renewable energy. A lot of people think that renewable energy is not strong enough, so it's just good for lights, carry lights that will show you, will drive darkness away. They don't get to think that it is strong enough. Renewable energy is energy, just like what is coming from the grid, is strong enough to help in the processing and in the preservation of agricultural products. So today, that's our focus, and we have someone who's in that field or in that space to talk to us on this. And Wisdom has got the honors to introduce our guests right now.
All right, thanks, Colin. That was a perfect intro to lead us into this conversation today. Yeah. Our guest is Eugene Osomobegbe. He's the CEO of OGV Limited, and OGV is Osomobegbe Global Ventures. I mean, he has to explain what that name really is for us. But his company is intro processing of perishable vegetable products for smallhold farmers using industrial solar dryers.
Wow.
Collins, it's an amazing conversation, and we hope to learn a lot from this. All right.
That's right.
So, Eugene, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Wisdom.
It's a pleasure to be on with you, too.
All right. Let me hit the ground running. All right.
Let us know the meaning of your name. Yes. Let us know the meaning of your name, and give us a bit of background around your professional journey. How has it been for you?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. And I must say it's still a pleasure to be here once again. My name is Eugene Osomobegbe. Osomobegbe simply means lover of children. Okay. And that's the meaning of the name.
All right.
Yes. My journey up until this point has been a really great one. I am from Edo State to begin, and I'm also born and raised in Sokoto. I did my higher institution in Kaduna, in Ahmadu Bello University's area. Then my NYSC program was in Sokoto. And it was when I went to serve that this whole idea of the renewable energy really hit me so hard.
Go on, please, go on.
Okay. So I started in 2018 by fabricating solar cookers that we sell to households. But we realized that the acceptance of solar cookers the technology was coming out way earlier than the time frame that we believe people would be able to accept them. So It was while still researching on it and trying to see, what can we do to ensure that this solution is widely accepted by everyone. That's where we came across the solar dryers, which we now we tried using it to dry onions, and we realized that within the space of some few hours, we were able to dry several balls of onions. And from there, we started, taking it out and giving it to people to try out and see if it's something they would like. That's the dried products. And we saw that they were accepting it, and they started making inquiries. How do you dry this and the rest? So that's where, just little by little like that, we just realized that the market opened up onto us. And here we are today, counting sales of.
Do you still make those solar cookers?
Yes, we still do. In fact, currently, like speaking to you now, I still have one that I'm about to deliver to a client in Lagos already. But it's a more improved version, yes.
We'll get into all of that very soon. But I wanted to ask you, just because of what is happening in the country at the moment, the price of diesel has gone up and affected many things in the country. I mean, we know it's about 750 now for a liter of diesel. But I wanted to ask you, how can Nigerian leverage on renewable energy solution? Now, in your view, can this solve our power problems? Now we can't get diesel for our generator, we can't get fuel for our generator. Can renewable energy solve this problem for us, and how can it? I wanted to ask you that because of your experience.
Okay. It's so sad what we are really experiencing currently. But if we've been following the trend over time, we realize that we're bound to hit this particular position because of the level of inflation we're facing and how some parts of the world are already phasing out from the use of fossil fuels. So I just believe it's one of the things we have to look into currently in Nigeria. Already we have access to, if you look at the core northwestern states in Nigeria, they have high level of sunshine that we can even harness and use for various processes. I think one of the major things we are facing is sensitization. A whole lot of people are not aware concerning renewable energy and what it can do. Because just like the presenter said earlier while we were starting up, the more focus was just on, most people just feel renewable energy just has to do with home lighting systems. They don't know it goes far beyond even lighting, that you can use it to carry out domestic activities. So I feel this is one of the key moments, this is one of the key times that if we want to push this out and create massive awareness for people, I believe they will definitely buy into it with the pains that they're experiencing now using fossil fuels. So I feel the market is ready and set. It's just for us to launch in.
Beautiful. I love that. So I totally agree with your thoughts there on the need for, more awareness, and the time is now. And but let me take you back to where you play majorly. All right, you work with smallholder farmers. All right, and could you explain to us a bit how power, the power issue is currently affecting the agricultural sector? Because people will look at it like, okay, power, what has that got to do with, agriculture, farming? What has that got to do with it? So how is the power issue in Nigeria currently affecting the agricultural sector?
Okay. There are several ways that power really affects the agricultural sector in Nigeria. I will just highlight like two, but I'll focus on one precisely.
All right.
One of it is in the aspect of processing of their harvested products. Many of these farmers, you find out that when they want to process some of these products that they harvest, from grains to perishable vegetables like tomatoes and the rest, due to lack of access to adequate processing facilities. And if you dig down deep into this, you find out that the main essence why they really don't have access to this is the fact that even if these structures are available where they can go to, there's not enough power that can ensure that this system is running for them to consistently be able to process their products when they take it there. So sometimes it results to traditional method of open sun drying, and many of these things are really not healthy. Then the second issue that I also wanted to mention is in the aspect of irrigation. When you want to irrigate your farm in dry season, you find out that you need to work with generators, fossil fuels, and the rest. And with the high rate of our prices, it's really not favorable for them. So if I'm to go back to the first, which is the one we're targeting now, and we're dealing with, trying to see how we could help the farmers solve it, we came up with a solution. We're like, okay, why not we set up something a place whereby these farmers can bring their products and have it processed and dried for them. So we decided to set up a solar drying center. So we have our industrial solar dryers, which are 100% renewable energy powered, solar energy powered to be precise. So the farmers can just bring their products to the facility. Then we dry it for them at a specific fee per kg. So once they bring the product, they just drop it. We are the ones that do the whole washing, sorting, and cutting and drying. Then once it's ready, we call them up to come and pick their products.
Interesting.
Yeah, really interesting, Collins. And no wonder why OGV. I like to call it OGV because the other name is too long. Please help me. OGV was announced as one of the 7 winners of the $10,000 grant. Let me not say $10,000, please. $10,000 grant with Cleantech Hub and an all-on incubation program. Now, Eugene, tell me, what was your impact from that program? Because you came to that program with all of these beautiful ideas about using solar to solve this problem in agriculture. So tell us where was the company before you joined the program, and what did the impact of that program do for you and your business at the end of the day?
Okay, Wisdom. I think when we started, before we got into the program, one of the things we were dealing with was our structure. As much as the idea was great, we didn't really have the structure in place. So we find out that our team was not perfectly structured. We didn't really have the balance. We didn't even know how to place setting when it comes to even the business model that we're operating by. We're just looking at the business from one perspective, and which was just the aspect of rendering drying services to smallholder farmers. So we couldn't see the bigger picture. But coming into the Cleantech Hub and the all-on program, incubation program, one of the impacts that it really had on us was it helped us work on our business model. It also helped us ensure that the kind of staff that we have on our team, our recruitment and strategies now was also worked upon. So we knew who and what we were to look out for when we're recruiting people to fill various offices in the organization. So it helped us improve our business model. It helped us in our recruitment of staff and the structure around the business itself. I mean, compared to before we started the program, now we have an adequate structure that is, in fact, is really attractive even for further investment. And that's kudos to all on the Cleantech Hub. Yes.
All right. You got $10,000 grant, all right? How do you plan to utilize that money?
Okay. What we plan to do with it now currently is that we've looked at our business model and we realized that we need to scale in terms of we need to procure and build, because our solar dryers, we build them locally ourselves. So we want to improve on the number of solar dryers we have, because we realize that the number of requests we are getting from clients, the current facility we have in terms of our machines cannot be able to meet that need. We have to turn some people away. So what this fund is doing for us is the fund is helping us to scale up our number of dryers that we work with. We're also working on our delivery structure. So it's helping us procure delivery vehicles that will enable us to be able to reach out to farmers that might not have access to our facility because of the distance. And we're also working, it also helped us in our human resource, so we could hire more people on our team and work with them as well. Yes.
All right. So now, many people listening to you will be wondering how this technology worked or works, because this is what you came to pitch during the incubation program, this solar dry technology. So now, what I want to ask is break it down a little bit for us. How does this really work? What are the mechanisms around this that make it possible to have a solar drying machine or solar drying technology? What is behind that technology? How does it work? Break it down for us.
The solar dryer is a very simple technology. Let me just start it that way. It just works on 2 principles. The first principle is on solar thermal energy. That's harnessing the heat energy from the sun, trapping it in a vacuum in a space. And when that energy is trapped in that space, it's a controlled space that is trapped in. So the temperature doesn't exceed 53 to 60 degrees Celsius in that space. And that's where the products that are to be dried are residing. So when the energy is trapped in there, you also have blowers. And these blowers are powered using the solar panels and our DC batteries. So the job of those blowers is just to blow the air across the products to be dried so that it's evenly distributed across them. So when this process repeats itself over and over again for some few hours, the products get dried. So the difference between this method and the open dry method is that while this method is carried out in a controlled environment, still using the same renewable energy, that's the energy from the sun, The ones that are done in the open space, the temperature is not really controlled. So it can be extremely hot or extremely low. And that affects the quality of the products, the taste, and even the appearance. But in ours, it's 100% uniform.
All right, interesting. If you are just joining us, yes, indeed, you're listening to Nigeria Info, and we're having Power Solutions, which is brought to you in partnership with All-On Energy Investment Company and my good friend Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, who's on the other side of the divide. Joining me as the co-host for this show, we do have the CEO of OGV Limited, and gentleman Eugene, who is focusing on a very, very vital area of renewable energy, talking about working the agricultural sector. Yes, and we're talking about processing of agricultural products using renewable energy. If you have a question or a comment, or maybe you're looking at how do I play in this space? How do I get the product? This is what I've been looking for. Well, stick around. You can always have an opportunity to contribute. But remember, we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can drop your comments there so we see it in time and respond to you. Let's get back to the next question before we wrap this conversation up. So you have talked about the products. We hear that you also sell solar dryers, and it's a part of the solar dyeing technology, right? A drying technology, or is it part of it, or is it a different solution that you provide? I'm talking about the solar dryers.
Well, the solar dryers themselves is a different solution, if we might look at it that way.
All right.
In the sense that the business itself has several models in which OGV Limited as an organization, should I say, makes money.
Yeah.
And one of the ways is through rendering of the drying services to smallholder farmers and even households, those that maybe have products too that they want to dry.
Yeah.
But another aspect is when we are targeting large-scale farmers now, those are buoyant enough and are financially stable. One of the things we do is sometimes we realize that if they are to bring large amount of their products, like 5 to 10 metric tons or 20 metric tons to our facility to dry, you find out that it might take them larger amount of time and they might have to spend more. So what we teach and we tell them is, you can afford to procure these machines and we can set them up for you in your own facility or space. Then this drying now, we can manage the drying services for you right from that space. So the technology is yours. It's more or less like a partnership that we're working in with the organizations. So we have these dryers in various sizes. Where the industrial sizes, we target large-scale farmers and larger agro-processing companies. Then the smaller sizes, we target households and, should I say, middle-income earners. Then we also have the medium dryers, and those medium solar dryers are for, what's it called, small and medium-scale businesses. Those who, compared to the larger organizations, what they do might not be as large as. So we just target them with those. Yes.
Wow, interesting. I wish we can let all the farmers in Nigeria know about this technology.
Yeah.
I know how it's going to help, with our food security in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And these farmers go through a lot of pain. I mean, you can see that the cost of foodstuffs are increasing. It's because of the amount of money they have to put into either transport or the processing, like drying, like you have mentioned. So I wish every farmer or every player in the agricultural sector can hear this and know that there's help and there's solution, and I mean, a renewable energy can solve the problem easily. But so we understand that you also plan to replicate this solution outside the country. I mean, we don't have enough yet, and you want to put it outside of the country. We want to beg you, please, let's have enough in our country first. But how affordable are these dryers you plan to sell? These solar dryers, how affordable are they to local farmers already? I understand you do this in Zaria, Kaduna at the moment. Do you have other regions you cover, other locations you cover? But how affordable is it for these farmers?
The dryers are quite affordable. If you look at it from the price ranges now, because the smallest of these dryers goes for as low as 50,000 naira. That's the smallest of the dryers. Then the biggest goes for as high as $1 million plus. Now, what we do with these farmers is that if you want to procure these dryers, we normally first weigh the level of income that these farmers are earning to know if buying or procuring this dryer, because as much as we are interested in being profitable as a business, we're also interested in the welfare of the farmers too as well. So what we do is we make sure that, okay, we go through cooperatives now. We go through their cooperatives. Then we we market the solution and let them know that, okay, this is what we do. So as a cooperative, they procure these dryers themselves. So rather than going through the farmers individually, now I'm talking about the smallholder farmers, especially those in core rural communities. So we go through their cooperatives. So it's through the cooperative we market these dryers, and that's where they procure these dryers themselves through such means. So what we do is the ranges of prices of the dryers. The smallest sizes are from 50,000 to 100,000. Yeah. Then the medium sizes of the dryers is from 200,000 to 500,000 naira. Then the industrial sizes of these dryers, that's the one that goes as high as from 700,000 naira and above, up to 1 million plus and more.
Interesting.
How many customers? No.
Okay, I didn't get that.
No, I said, how many customers do you currently serve?
Okay, with the drying already, we are serving over 350 smallholder farmers. That's between last year, yes, and this year. Then in terms of our industrial dryers now, between last year and this year, our largest dryers now, we sold over 5 units of it, of the largest dryers that we have. Then the medium sizes, we sold almost 15 units of the medium-sized dryers. Now that's what we sold. And the reason for these values is because most people are really not aware about this solution. In fact, the few that even know about it now, those are the people that are reaching out massively. So I believe it's the information, like the word hasn't fully gone out to them for them to be aware, to know that, okay, this solution exists. Because a whole lot of people still import. In fact, some of the people that even come to buy from us are people that were importing before, because they didn't even know that there's someone in the country that does fabrication of this kind of dryers at a much more, should I say, affordable price as compared to what they would pay if they want to import it.
And quality too, I mean, as it were. So,
yeah.
When you say you're serving farmers, right? Quick one before the last question that has to do with your team and how you can be reached, all right? But when you say you're serving, is it farmers everywhere in Nigeria, or is it specific area that you're concentrated on? There are farmers everywhere, even Lagos, there are farmers. I wonder where they're farming. But hey, do you have an area of focus in terms of, or is it farmers wherever they are in Nigeria, they can, come across to you?
Yes, currently now, since we're starting out, our focus now is in the northwestern part of Nigeria, okay. Especially those who are into perishable vegetable products.
All right.
Now I'm talking about the drying services we render.
Okay.
But what we're doing now, when it comes to selling of our product, our unit, we sell across Nigeria, irrespective of where the client resides. Mm-hmm. Any part of the country, we can get our product across. There are various logistical services that we can harness to be able to get the product across to the client. And if the site is really large, then we can go down to the site and build it there on the site for the client.
Beautiful.
All right. You had mentioned earlier before that from the incubation training, it helped you to structure your business and know a lot about how to better position your business. So, but we also noticed that all your management team are all women. They are all female, from the operations manager, finance manager, marketing manager, all women. Was this deliberate from the training you got from the program, or this is just a personal decision to? Tell us about the team. How did that come about?
Or maybe you're just a ladies' man. Just saying.
Just to answer that, before the program itself, we've really had them working with us, but not in that capacity. Yeah. Because what we do as an organization is we take excellence very seriously. So starting out and watching among the crop of people that have been working with us, we realized that these were the people that were performing. They were high performers as at that time, and we're like, okay, let's bring them on board and let's work with them. So unknown to us that a time will come whereby, should I say, things like preference will be given to women in terms of the renewable energy business and the rest. We didn't even know. This was even a decision we made before the incubation program, and they came on board with us.
Beautiful. So last question before we go. Our time is fast spent. It has to do, you've talked about your team. Let's say someone is listening right now and needs to have your contact or connect with you on social media or phone number or website so they can know more about your product and contact you just in case they need it, or how can they connect with you?
Okay. We have a website, and to reach us on our website or to visit our website to learn more about our solutions, the website is www.ogvlimited.com. That's simple.
All right.
www.ogvlimited.com.
The limited, it's spelled in full or short form?
Okay, limited spelled in full.
All right.
Spelled in full. Yes. Then
OGV.
You can. Yes.
All right.
ogvlimited.com. Then you can visit our Facebook page as well. That is OGV Limited. The limited now is abbreviated LTD.
All right.
Okay.
Yes. Then I could also give the phone number that you can reach us through. Okay.
Go on.
The number is 081 47 36 23 85. I take it again. 081 47 36.
All right. I think we lost connection there with our guest. But
285.
okay. All right. We missed out. The connection is unstable, but at least we got the number the first time. Wisdom, this is a good time to run away.
Yes, it is. It is. I mean, great conversation today, and this solution, I mean, I'm amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, our guest. Thank you, Wisdom, for co-hosting this with me. Appreciate you always. You know that for sure. But guys, it is our hope that the word has been spread across the nooks and crannies of this country about today's solution, which, of course, we know is going to help our agricultural sector. Thank you for listening to Power Solutions. Remember, let's do this again next week, same time on this station. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. My name is Collins. Teke. Bye for now.